Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Financial Friday at Wise Wealth University. Thank you all for coming here. I'm going to just check on the Instagram. Welcome, Instagram. Welcome, Facebook. Welcome, Periscope and YouTube. We're live on all four of those channels. So thanks for joining me, everyone. Tonight, I know it's Friday, so we're just going to relax and chat about some ways to use your money. Grab a beer, grab a wine, and sit back and relax. And we'll just chat about, you don't have to take any notes tonight. I'm just going to show you some things ways that you can use your IRA, your friend's IRA, your family's IRA accounts, and also your health savings accounts to invest in real estate and build those accounts so they're useful to you in the future. In fact, with an HSA account, you get to use it right away as you make the money. So it's going to be really instructive and help you guys to learn what your limits are and how much you can fund these accounts right now. So let me introduce myself, and then we'll get into the content. Welcome, everyone. This is my website, Wise Wealth University, and Instagram's been looking at it for a while. I have a couple things for you tonight that you might find useful. If you click on the red button on my website, Wise Wealth University, you'll be taken to a free ebook on private lending. If you're on Periscope, my website link is in my profile. If you're on YouTube, the link is also probably somewhere on my channel. And if you are on Facebook, there's a link there on my Facebook page. It's Wise Wealth University on Facebook, YouTube. On Periscope, I'm Pink Professor. But from there, my link is also there. And on Instagram, my link is again up in my profile. So that's a resource there, private lending ebook. That'd be really helpful for you to get, especially after tonight's broadcast. I also have a direct mail course with the green button, and the direct mail course allows you to figure out how to send postcards or letters to motivated sellers and find a great deal for yourself. My second resource that I want to share with you tonight, let me bring this over, and on Instagram, let me bring you over to the page. So if you're interested in finding out how to develop your own private lenders, you'll want to join my Funding Mystery Challenge. It's a free 7-day game. It's played online. You get an email, and you're also in a Facebook group. So this is the sign-up page, fundingchallenge.smartmember.com/signup1. This will be free during the month of March. Afterwards, it's going to be a paid course. So jump on now while it's free, and it'd be fun to see you guys in the course, and I'd love to do the 7-day challenge with you. It challenges you to find private lenders from the contacts that you already know, and I teach you how to do that. And then once you're in the course, let me bring that page up. Oh, here we go. Once you're in the course, it looks like this. Don't mind the gray box. That's just the chat box there. If you have questions and you're on Periscope, you can type them into the chat box. I also have a chat box open for YouTube. Unfortunately, I can't see the Facebook comments because I just don't have enough chat boxes open here. And the Periscope and the will show up for me, though. Periscope and YouTube. All right, so this is what the course looks like inside. There's 10 lessons. There's 2 intro videos, 7 days of the challenge, and then a webinar at the end. So that's the complete course. And then once you're in it, and you can't see this on Instagram, but there's a Facebook group And so when you get your email lesson, which is sent to you every day, you'll be able to join a Facebook group and you'll be able to talk about where the check came from and what you're going to use the check for in your investment. And it's a great way to see how other investors would use the money. Your money doubles every day in the challenge. And so that's the fun part. And during the challenge, I'm challenging you to find other private lenders and to start those conversations with them. But to encourage you during the game, you get a check in the mail from me in your email every single day, and then you decide what you're going to do with that check. So it's a really fun game. The people who've played it before have had a great time doing it and learned a lot. So I look forward to seeing you in that, again, during the month of March. It's a free game. So let's see. Let's move on, and we'll start our talk for tonight, which is about private lending. I'm going to play a movie for Instagram, but Instagram, you guys don't get to see the movie, but I'll be starting the content in just... Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Financial Friday. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to invest your IRA, your Roth, or your HSA account into real estate. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what are the limits of how much you can put in each account, and then how you can use that account going forward. So thank you all for joining me. Please, if you're on Periscope, share out the broadcast and add your hearts. If you're on Facebook, also share out the broadcast. And if you're on Facebook, Periscope, or YouTube, you can leave comments, and I can see the comments as we move forward. Instagram, I'll glance over. You're on a separate phone, but I will be able to see some of the comments as well there. So welcome. I'm Janice Bell. I'm a real estate investor, mentor, and coach. My company, Wise Wealth University, takes the mystery out of real estate investing and gives you step-by-step training. So tonight, first I'm going to introduce you to several companies that you can use. First, I'll just, come on and say hello, and I'll flip the camera over for Instagram. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming to the broadcast. That gray box over this way is the chat box. Follow me on Pink Professor on Twitter, Periscope, and then on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm at Wise Wealth University. So thank you all for joining me tonight. I love to teach about private lending. It's one of my favorite topics, and all of the deals that we do are handled by money from private lenders. So the first thing I'm going to do is just introduce you to several of the companies that you can use for your private lending. You can transfer your IRA account over to one of these companies, and I'll show you the websites for at least 3 of them that I use regularly. You can take an IRA, a Roth, or a health savings account. A health savings account is one that you get with your employer if you're using a high deductible health savings plan. And there's limits to that. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. What are the limits in order to qualify as a high deductible account? But you get a health savings account, and that money stays with you and grows. This is different than the health account where you put money in and it's gone by the end of the year if you don't use it. This one you get to keep. And you also get to use it right away, as opposed to an IRA, and you can't really use the money you made in an IRA till you retire. With a health savings account, if I make money this year, I can use it this year and next year, or keep it for longer. It doesn't really matter. That money can grow once it's in the account. So it's a very useful account to have. All right, so one of the companies I use is UDirect IRA Services, And I make it a point to have accounts with at least 2 companies, and then some of my private lenders use other companies, so I'm familiar with at least 3 of these companies. But there's probably 25 self-directed IRA accounts on the internet. You just do a search for self-directed IRA. These companies allow you to invest in real estate as well. You can invest in anything except collectibles, and even precious metals you can invest in. So collectibles and art and things like that you can't invest in. But you can even buy tickets and sell them. You can buy tax liens and sell them. I mean, you can buy tax liens and, profit from the tax lien. But you can also even buy something and then resell it as a way to make money, as long as it's some sort of an investment. All right, so UDirect is one of the companies, and we're going to go over the limits there in a minute. The next one is Entrust Group, and I also have 2 accounts here with Entrust Group. And then a third one that I've used, it's in the Midwest, it's in Ohio. You might like it. It's Equity Trust. I didn't like it as much because being in California, they have a cutoff time, usually around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that if you submit anything that day, it doesn't count. That the 3-day clock doesn't start until the next day. And the problem with a company in Ohio for me is their clock starts at 3 o'clock their time, which is really noon my time. So whatever I want to submit to them, if I get it in before noon, I then have 3 days. But if someone delays sending me a document and I can't get it in till later in the workday, I've missed a day in terms of my 3-day waiting period to get my deal funded. So I'm going to go back over to UDirect. And with UDirect, we're going to look down at some of the limits. And I'm going to try to make this bigger right now for Instagram. So let me just kind of zoom in. And I think it's going to zoom it in for everyone here. Yeah, let me just zoom it in. And then let me adjust it so that it is right in the middle for you. Okay, these are your contribution limits. And the reason that's important right now is that right now you can still contribute for 2017 as well as contribute for 2018. So say you have a deal or a project you want to do right away, you can go ahead and make your 2017 contribution if you haven't done it, and you can make your 2018 contribution and start investing right away. The other thing you should know is if you do want to build up an account and you don't have the money to put in right away, I suggest you start an IRA with your local bank or credit union. And you can put in $50 a month, $100 a month, whatever you want to put in. When your account gets to a good amount that's worth investing, then move it to a self-directed IRA account. And the reason for this is the self-directed IRA accounts will have a yearly fee of a couple $100s to maintain your account, or you can select to be charged per your investment. And if you don't have an investment, then they're going to charge you the yearly fee. Your local bank will not do that. You can just keep putting the money in and there's no charge to have an IRA. When you have enough money, then roll that IRA from your bank into a self-directed account. It doesn't cost you anything to do that, but it may take you a few years to accumulate what you want. So do that in the bank where there's no fees, and then roll it over to one of the self-directed accounts. So that's a trick that we used when we first started our Roth account because we didn't have one from our employer. The other thing you should know is that you can take, if you have an old 401k from a previous employer that you either left the employer or you were laid off, you can roll that 401k into a self-directed IRA. You cannot roll a 401k from an employer if you're still working for that employer. So you're limited with that. Sometimes you can take a loan out and then put the money back, but it's not a self-directed IRA. So that's good to know. So this is something you can help friends and family with too, because they may have an old IRA, they're not doing anything with it, you show them how to do this, and then they can invest with you as well. You are able to purchase a share of an LLC. So say if 3 of you want to go in together, you can each purchase, a share of an LLC, and your 3 IRA accounts would own the LLC, and then the LLC does the investing. So that's another way to go. So let's talk about the limits. Right now we're in the from 2013 to 2018, you're allowed to invest $5,500 a year if you're below 49 or below. Once you're above 50, you're allowed an extra $1,000 as what they call catch up, because you didn't have a 401k when you were younger. So that allows you to catch up and put more money away, when you're older. So those are the limits for the basic traditional IRA as well as the Roth. So say you have an IRA and a Roth, and you'd like to split it between the two. Your total is going to be $5,500, and you can distribute it into the traditional Roth, the traditional IRA, or the Roth in any amount that you want, as long as the total is not more than $5,500. You are not allowed to contribute $5,500 to both of them. Okay, so it's a limit like that. So here's the difference with taxes. If you invest in a traditional IRA, you're allowed to deduct that amount off of your gross income on the front page of your tax form, your 1040. So it can reduce your gross income, and if that's important right now for your taxes, then you should do it that way. However, I suggest using the Roth plan, where you put the money in with after-tax dollars. You've paid taxes on it already. You put the money in, but when you take the money out, you won't be paying any taxes on it. And you won't be paying any taxes on any profit you made in the account when it was there. With a traditional IRA, because you put it in pre-tax, you're taxed when you take the money out. All right, so let's go forward to the phase out. If you want to start a Roth or invest in a Roth, you really have to do it, let's say for 2017, if you're single, your adjusted gross income must be less than 118 if you want the full amount going in, or you can go all the way up to 133,000, but you don't get to put as much in the account. If you're married filing jointly, those limits go up to 186, between 186 and 196. And if you're under the 186, you can put in the full amount, no problem. So what they're doing here is they're limiting the amount that you can put into the account. If you make a lot of money, they're sort of saying, we don't really think you need this account. So they start phasing out how much you're allowed to put in. There aren't any limits on the traditional IRA, so you can still do that as far as I understand. So this phase out range and limits is just for the Roth. So if you think you're going to make more money in the future, but you're not now, I suggest you start the Roth now, because then you'll already have the account, and there's nothing limiting you from growing the account once you've made your contribution. You just may be limited and not able to make further contributions, but you can grow the account by your investment. So let me just read it to you to be sure off of this other screen over here. You can contribute to a Roth IRA if your income falls below the Roth limits. You're allowed a prorated contribution if your income falls within the phase-out range, which I said for married was 186 to 196. If your income exceeds the income range, you won't qualify for a Roth contribution. Okay, but remember I said once you put the money in on a previous year, you can still invest it and keep it growing. But you're also still allowed to put it into, a traditional IRA, a SEP or a simple or something like that. And there are limits. If you have your own company, you'd want to know about the 401 contribution limits. If you're working for an employer, your employer's not going to let you have a self-directed account for the 401k contribution. So just know that you can put in up to $18,500 or $18,000 for 2017, but in 2018 it goes up to $18,500. And if you're 55 and above, you can put up to $24,500 of what you make. And just remember also for the Roth, while they have the phase-out limits, let's be clear on that. That's adjusted gross income. So you do get to take your deductions for dependents and things before that. All right, I went over 401k. If you're lucky enough to have your own full business working, you can contribute to a SEP or a simple IRA, which is a matching plan for employers and employees. So that's for the IRA part. Let me see. Let me go over to. So UDirect IRA does not have an HSA account at the present time, but I know that Entrust does. So I'm going to look at their account incentives here, just so you know, because I printed them out earlier. Oh, this goes over what you can invest in. Real estate, precious metals, private placements, like startups, hedge funds, lands trusts, energy, oil and gas, secured notes, and there's a bunch of other alternatives. So let me just get the HSA account in here. Let me do the search. Here we go. All right, a health savings account is a tax-advantaged savings plan that helps individuals reduce health care costs by combining a high-deductible health plan, and the funds accumulate until you need them on a tax-free basis. Same with a covered-all education plan, but you can only put in $2,000 a year in that. It's something you can do, and it is self-directed. So you can start putting money away for your kids and use that for their college funds. So I'm going to skip over and kind of, here's learn more. Let's look at the health savings account, because I think that is one of the best things right now to jump into, invest in, and then figure out how you can invest in it. I must not, well, I'm going to read it to you because I can't grab the table. Yeah, there's a table, but anyway, let me read it over to you. Health savings accounts, your maximum that you can put away for 2017 was, for a family, was $6,750. For a single person, it's $3,400. And then it goes up by about $50 for 2018. But for a family, it goes up about $150. So the family coverage for 2018 is $6,900. So here's the deal with that. If you have a high deductible medical plan, which means, and the limit here is $2,600, a lot of them are $3,000. Your deductible is $2,600, or it has to be above that. For us, our deductible is $3,000. Sometimes the deductible is $5,000, which means you have to pay that out of pocket before your health insurance plan kicks in. But the beauty of that is, if you do that 1 or 2 years, you're able to start putting money in your health savings account. And that is like the coolest thing ever. Okay, so I'm pretty excited about that. So say you had a health savings account in 2017. You could put in $6,750, and you can still do that up until April 15th of this year. And then for 2018, you can put in $6,900. This is for a family. So now you can put in more than $13,000 for those 2 years. What if you'd never even put in anything last year? You just put in the minimum that your employee did. And now you get your tax return and you decide to put in your contribution for 2017, designated as 2017, on your account, and put in the one for 2018. Now you just added over $13,000 to your account, and you can use that to buy a tax lien. You could use that for a note. You could use that as a down payment on a property, and then find someone else who wants to fund the rest of the property with their IRA. Maybe they don't know real estate, and they would just lend you the other $100,000 you need to buy a property as a loan, and you would be paying them an interest rate, from the flip or the rent or whatever it is that you did. So it's a great way to get started, but that money, as it grows, you can use it next year for your health expenses. You don't have to wait till you retire. So this is the beauty of the health savings account. I would like everyone to know about it and really jump in and start using that to pay for your health expenses. Even if it's something your insurance company doesn't cover, like LASIK for your eyes, some kind of orthodontic work, any sort of elective things that you want to do, you can use that. There's a whole list of what you can use your health savings account for when you open one of these accounts. So I suggest that you start with going to one of those accounts, UDirect IRA Services, Entrust Group, or Equity. I think it's Equity Trust. I think there's also another one called Lincoln. But look into the different accounts. I mean, if you Google self-directed IRA, it will show you a whole list of them. And then you want to know which kind of accounts they have. Because I know UDirect doesn't have a health savings account right now, but they're going to add that into their suite of accounts going forward. Entrust, the Entrust Group does have the health savings account. And I believe that Equity Trust may also. That company's been around for quite a while. Self-directed IRAs, investment options, forex trading, tax liens, private lending. Here's another thing that you can do that you may not know about is that you can also fund, you can take one account and fund an LLC, and then that LLC can invest in real estate. This is more helpful when you go to an auction or a tax lien where you have to pay for the property the next day. And you can't wait for someone to wire funds into an escrow account. It just has to be paid to the county right away. So it may be useful for you to open, it's called a checkbook LLC, so that your IRA owns the LLC and then you are writing the checks. So you have to be careful because you need to follow the right rules. You can't be investing with people in your family and things like that. So there's certain prohibited transactions that you can't do. You can't sell a property that you own personally into your IRA. You can't sell it from your IRA to yourself. You can't sell to a parent or a child or a spouse or someone in your direct line. But there's plenty of other things that you can do with the investments. So anyway, that is a pop-up. There we go. Let's get rid of that. All right, so let me just wind up tonight, and I'm going to go back and show you. If you want to look at any of my previous broadcasts or see a replay, and you're not on if you're on YouTube, go ahead and watch it. I'm sure if you're on Facebook. But if you're on Periscope and you want to see the replays, you go to periscope.tv/Pink Professor, and that's where the replays show up. So the last one was how to automate your marketing, and I did that one on Monday. But you'll see other broadcasts down here as you scroll down that I've done. If you want to follow my updates, just go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I'm Pink Professor. That was one of the first flips that we did here in my local town when in 2010 when the prices got really low after the crash. So that's one of the properties there. So anyway, go back ahead. If you want more information about private lending, I really suggest you download the ebook. Once you get the ebook, you'll be given an invitation after I think about a week to join the Funding Mystery Challenge. But if you want to go ahead and sign up for that right away, you can go to Funding Challenge. Let me transition over to that for the other group here. So it's fundingchallenge.smartmember.com/sign up. I believe that you can also just Google Funding Mystery Challenge and you'll be taken to this sign up page, and that'll allow you to just go ahead and sign up from there. And the content will start the very next day after you sign up. So I want to check the chat and see if we have any questions. Don't see any questions on Instagram. The great thing is I had the phone plugged in tonight, so it didn't die. I'm waiting for a new battery from Apple for my iPhone. No questions on Periscope. If you like the broadcast, if you are watching the replay, please share it out to your followers. I really appreciate that. And add some hearts. During Periscope, you can add hearts anytime, even during the replay. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and like my page, Wise Wealth University, and you will get periodic updates of when I'm going live and doing a training. So I want to thank you all tonight for being here. I know there's plenty of places you could be on Friday night. So go ahead and share out the broadcast. You guys have a great evening, and I'll see you next week. We'll do some more training on marketing when we get back to Marketing Monday. Thank you all for joining me on Financial Friday, and I hope you learned a lot about what you can do with IRA accounts and the amount of flexibility that you can have with this type of investment. So thank you all, and have a great evening.